Hello there, I'm Mark Griffiths, client partner at New Lead Training and Development. I'm delighted to say I'm joined today by Chris Mulligan, who is the Chief Executive Officer at Talent Keepers, who I'm pleased to say are also a client of ours. So Chris, two questions for you to answer in no more than 4 minutes or so. We do call this Take 5 for a reason. Number one, tell us a little bit more about your organization, what you do and who you serve. And number two, what are you learning personally, professionally, and even as an organization during these challenging times that you think will be helpful, hopeful, or even humorous? Over to you. I will then wrap up when you've finished.
Well, thanks, Mark, and thank you for having me as part of this program. Yeah, Talent Keepers has been in business for 21 years. And over that time, we have helped thousands of organizations and millions of employees understand the value of talent that an organization can leverage. And for most organizations, that is their greatest asset. So we help them understand why people join them, why they choose to stay, why they consider leaving. And we inform leadership teams of things that are working well within the organization that are incenting their individuals to give discretionary effort. That's our one common characteristic of an engaged employee. I think of them acting like owners or acting like volunteers, certainly attributes that we would all want in every one of our team members. And we do that through engagement surveys, leadership training, leadership coaching, and assessments. So over the 21 years, we've seen a lot of changes, but I don't think we've ever seen changes like 2020 brought on us. And it's really showing employees two things. We've seen within our client base organizations who have thrived through this pandemic and organizations who are really struggling. The ones that thrive tend to communicate more effectively with their employees. They keep them informed. What's happening? What does this mean to you? And they're also talking with them about their personal well-being. Personal well-being has risen to the top of most employees' lists of what's most important to them. And so organizations who are being intentional about connecting with them as individuals, talking with them about their families, talking about them with their personal health situations, are the ones that are thriving in this organization, in this pandemic. They're retaining talent, they're growing their organizations. Organizations who sort of approach this as, look, we're working from home, but we all have a lot to do. I expect you to be online from 8 to 8 or whatever the schedule may be. And they sort of gloss over or don't talk about the personal side are the ones who are really struggling. And some things that we've seen, I think we're all giving each other a little more grace as we, in more frequent cases, are interacting remotely through web meeting software. It used to be taboo to have a child's voice or a dog barking in the background. And I think for most organizations today, we recognize this is life and life happens. And so we've got to give each other a little bit of grace when it comes to expecting those sorts of things to occur. And I think it's allowing us to be a bit more personal, right, and to connect as individuals during this pandemic. So in our work, we did launch a pandemic pulse survey in 2020 to help organizations understand how well their employees were working in modified work settings. So it asked them whether or not they had the information and resources and training that they need, if there were things that they needed from connectivity. And it enabled organizations to quickly address issues that their employees may have been having to maintain high productivity. So I think we'll look back on the pandemic as a time when we slowed down, as a time when people became more important, and our definition of our employees grew a little bit wider to include their families, to include their extended families. And I think that's hopefully a positive trend that we can continue as we emerge from the pandemic. I think we're going to see some shifts in values that employees look for in organizations. And I think purpose-driven organizations will emerge as those that are attracting and retaining the best talent. So we've modified our approach to include those elements and helping organizations understand how well they're doing from that perspective.
Wow, that's just awesome, Chris. And on behalf of everyone watching this back, thank you for your insights. Thank you for the great work that you've been doing at Talent Keepers. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. Goodbye.